Most men over 30 that are training hard, eating clean, are stuck in this weird in-between zone when they're not out of shape, but they're definitely not in the shape they want to be. So in today's video, I'm going to break down exactly why that's happening, how to escape this skinny fat trap, and then give you the three-phased roadmap that we give all our clients to go from skinny fat to building a lean athletic physique. Because of the rise of AI and all the conflicting information that's out there on the internet, most people have no idea what actually works. As a result, they just try this all or nothing approach. They throw everything at the wall, hoping something's going to stick. And they have no real game plan. They just say, right, I'm going to cut calories, I'm going to, go to the gym as much as I can, I'm going to do a ton of cardio to try and become fat burning machines. Instead of getting lean, athletic, burning fat and building muscle, they get stuck in a loop of overtraining and under eating. And it's the biggest reason most people find themselves in the skinny fat trap. It's where you have low muscle tone and you have excess body fat. And it's a really, really tricky place to be. I see it all the time. You can't drop your calories any lower, you can't do any more exercise, and most people spin their wheels, scratching their heads and get really frustrated. And that brings me on to a really important point, guys. There is a massive difference between weight loss and fat loss. In both these photos, I weigh the same. I'm 75 kilos, but the difference is my body composition, my ratio of muscle to fat. Here, my fat's a lot higher, muscle is lower. Here, my body fat is lower and my muscle is higher, but I weigh 75 kilos. So many people don't realize there's a difference. They end up trying to rush the process, get to their goal weight. They do a ton of cardio, they undereat, and then they really confused. They're stepping on the scale and they've still got this soft, untoned, skinny fat look. And that is because they focused on weight loss, not fat loss. So what most people want is to lose fat, maintain and build lean muscle. My client Charlie's a perfect example of this. He was following what I call this continuous dieting approach. He was basically just dropping his calories, eating clean, cutting out all the foods he enjoyed, like sugar, carbs, and just trying to stick to it for as long as he could. And he was also doing Barry's boot camp. It's an exercise class in London where you're kind of doing running on the treadmill, then loads of light weights. He was so confused, felt like his body didn't represent the amount of hard work he was putting in. So when Charlie joined our coaching program, we got crystal clear on his goal. We broke his transformation down into clear phases. This is so important, guys. Because Charlie had spent so long in that loop of overtraining and undereating, he'd built up so much diet fatigue. So the first thing we did is we installed our metabolic reset protocol. We ran this for 2 weeks, where we effectively brought him out his calorie deficit, restored his energy levels, stabilized his hunger, stabilized his hormones, leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that are responsible for signaling hunger and fullness, and we reset his metabolism. His energy was back up, his strength was back up, and then once that was completed, we moved into phase 2, the accelerate sprint protocol. This is a short, focused fat loss sprint where we focus on maintaining muscle, preserving strength, and just stripping the body fat off, getting the abs revealed, getting to a place where he was really happy with his body fat without crashing his metabolism, without crashing his energy levels. Then from there, we moved into our lean build protocol. This is where we focused on adding muscle in the right places without regaining fat. And as you can see, we completely transformed his body composition. He went from low energy, lethargic, low confidence, overtraining, undereating, to building an insane physique. I would say this is pretty much the ideal physique most people are trying to get to. Not overly muscular, lean, athletic. And the crazy thing is he had more energy, he was eating more calories, he was so much stronger. He was just in a completely different place. And as you can see, he looks like a completely different person. My client Ben is another example who went from skinny fat, he had that beer belly, that soft, untoned look, that stubborn belly fat that wouldn't shift, to building a insane physique, getting really, really ripped, really lean, getting that six-pack that he's always wanted. Toby's another example. He was doing a lot of running, cardio, marathon training, and kind of endurance events like Hydrox and things like that, and he was really unhappy with his body composition. He wanted to get in great shape for his holiday, so we cut all that cardio down, we reset his metabolism, we installed our 2-hour per week minimalist training protocol, and he was able to completely transform his body. If you feel like you're stuck in a loop of overtraining, undereating, you feel like your body doesn't represent the amount of hard work you're putting in, I can completely relate to that, and I know how frustrating it is. I was stuck spinning my wheels in a plateau for almost 3 years, and it starts to affect your confidence, because every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you lose confidence, not only in yourself, but also the process. And I know for me, that was having a negative knock-on effect on my mood. I was getting frustrated, and that wasn't fair on my friends, my family.